Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 383 of the Words About Games podcast. The weekly video game podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander. I'm joined this week by the man himself, the one and only, scratching his leg, for those of us who are listening and not watching.
Yeah, of course it was my leg. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Why bend you down so much if it wasn't your leg, really?
I can't say why.
I set you up there. Come on. I set it up perfectly. Come on, man.
This is a PG stream.
It's a dick joke, okay?
Howdly doodly do, everybody. You know, it's the final episode
It's the final episode
of the year.
Yes, thanks for context.
It's Friday. You know what that means. It's video game day. Go and check out your video games that on Monday you'll get from Santa Claus, and then it's video game day all the way until you go back to work or school.
Which would be Tuesday for me.
Be a week Tuesday for me.
I hope you play lots of Football Manager in that time.
Yeah, that'll be it, right? So Moody, how many new games you get to? What do you mean new?
Yeah, it'll be like
I'm still in 2023, mate.
we'll do like a post-Christmas thing, like after we do our like most anticipated fantasy critic stuff, and it'll be like, so what did everybody play over Christmas?
Football Manager.
I'm going back to The Last of Us over Christmas.
It's like, I'm playing Yakuza right now, so like, what can I? Not one of the two that came out this year. There's like a correlation on a chart between number of games Moody buys to number of hours Moody plays Football Manager. It's like the more other games you buy, the more time you spend playing Football Manager.
It's like he's rebelling against you.
It's like he's rebelling against himself.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's the worst thing about it. It's just I'm fighting with myself, and it's just like, well, your team sucks, so at least in a game, you can make them good again. And I was like, well, I can't argue against my own logic there, so I'm like, well,
it's always hard to argue against yourself.
Exactly.
But we're also joined, Moody, by some kind of PlayStation
fanboy.
Euphemism. It's Mr. Vitz Patel.
What's good, gamers? I'll also accept the person who catches themselves singing out loud in the supermarket every other week. So yes,
What were you singing
that
this
was
week?
the thing that happened. I was singing Jump Up Superstar, like I told you on Discord.
Hell yeah, you were. It's a great song. I hadn't thought about that song for ages. That you sending me that was actually quite good because I got my video game playlist and I realized that wasn't on it, so I added it.
So the version was by 8-Bit Big Band, and they do covers of popular video game songs, but they also create additional verses and add lyrics to things. So Gonna Take You for a Ride from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that's another one of their bangers. And so they've added verses to that, and it's interesting.
The wholesome verses.
Yes.
Okay. You're saying verses, and for some reason I'm thinking of like rap verses. You know how like rappers call them verses, bars. And I'm just like suddenly like, you know, like it's just like Jump Up Superstar, and then it's about fucking all the hoes or something. I don't listen to rap. I'm really out of my element with this joke. What do rappers sing? What do rappers rap about?
Presents.
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not answering that question.
I listen to This Is America. Do they all rap about systemic injustice? Yeah, that's what all rappers rap about. Cool. That's good to know.
There you go. It's an educational show.
I mean, it's as educational as half the shit on YouTube. You learn something. Might be wrong, but you learned it. And that's the important part.
Dear listener, it's on you to fact check everything we say tonight.
I hope anybody who's listening to us like does actually fact check half the shit that comes out of at least my mouth. I feel like I
What
need
else are YouTube comments for?
Oh, don't. I have a list.
Stupidity.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's one of the things YouTube comments are for.
There we go. Okay.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah, we're doing good. It's the last week for Christmas, for those who are celebrating, and yeah, it's been a time.
It's been a time. Yeah.
Yes.
Days have
It
passed.
sure is the
Things
week
have
of the
happened.
year.
This sure has been a week.
Yeah.
How
It's
about
fucking
you?
dragged, and I fucking hate it. It's dragging so much. It's the worst thing is like we're down to literally a skeleton crew now. It's like literally, I think it's like just like 6 of us left in the office, and like the rest of them have already gone. And I'm just like, I hate all of you. Like, you are dead to me until 2024. So yeah, something like that.
Seems a bit harsh.
Bit serious, I know, a bit harsh, I know.
Are you taking like
I
a
know.
second break, like right after you get back?
Yeah, you were telling us about
Yeah,
some-
yes, I am. Yes, yeah. It's the only time I could come up to see my family. Like, we couldn't, because my partner works in hospitality. It's hard for her to be able to get off. Unlike last year, which we already had like plans booked for us to come back up during the Christmas period, which we were able to do. But this year, it's just a pain in the backside to be able to get because she's a manager as well, which is more difficult. It's hard to be able to get away, to be able to come back up for a lengthy enough time to see all the family and everything, and like try and chill, because it's like a 3-hour drive for me as well. So it's like, yeah, this ain't good. And I've got this little one who's underneath my feet, underneath the table right now, who's not the best with cars. She's a pain, and I don't know if I'll survive that 3-hour journey either way. But yeah, so basically I'm back for 4 days, and then I'm basically off and coming back up to the northeast to see my family for Christmas in January.
Christmas.
It's gonna be weird.
Christmas
it's gonna be
is
weird as fuck.
friends we made along the way.
It sure is.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, I don't really put anything in dating stock in Christmas. It's awkward interactions with people I try not to have any interactions with, and a lot of food, and then some napping, and then last year I think I streamed.
Well, on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
To be fair, those are often some of the most wholesome ones. So for those who haven't been able to get to hang around with family or loved ones kind of thing, they can always find their favorite streamer online and take their minds off of the misery season, which is Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's, that kind of trifecta.
Oh yeah, it is a bit of a trifecta, isn't it? But yeah, no, I think I streamed Demon Souls, so it wasn't that wholesome.
Okay.
Fucking come on, man! No, fuck. Not quite.
The neighbors are like, well, Amy didn't get what she wanted this year.
I just want to get past this pass. Ah. It's like, yeah. But I hope everybody out there who enjoys Christmas, enjoys spending time with their family, extended, has fun doing that. And I'll probably be live on Twitch if you want to escape from it all. Ironically, I'll probably be playing Dark Souls. I really bookended this year without even planning to do that.
Have you spoken to your therapist about this, Amy? Playing incredibly violent games on Christmas Day.
Well, I play incredibly violent games like most days of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, but it's Christmas.
Yeah, but it also stops her doing incredibly violent things in real life.
Okay, now that's just slander. Nothing stops me doing incredibly violent things in real life.
There it is.
I broke a back date one time.
Yeah, that's true. No, so I got through that by playing Dead Island 2.
Oh my god. A lot of does in these games you want to play, Amy.
What can I say? I've got great taste.
You do indeed. You do indeed.
Should we kick this show on the road? No, normally I know we waffle on a bit more, which we can totally do. I'm fine with. Mm-hmm. But we have a single topic podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
A much better one than the last single topic podcast we did.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm with you now. Yes.
Yes. Wrap it up.
Yeah, please wrap it up.
Yeah. I signed a petition for that against that.
The letter.
Yeah. Thank you, Vitz, for that. I did not realize there was a petition out there.
I hadn't realized you hadn't seen the letter.
No, because it's not really seen on Bluesky that much, and I'm also not on Bluesky that much. So, that's why, I asked you, I think a couple of weeks ago, should I go back on Twitter? It wasn't just for my mental health. It was literally just to keep up with certain things in the industry type of thing, because that's where it mostly goes first and everything.
I get where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
But also, 2 days ago, I came into contact with a Twitter post on Bluesky, and then went to Twitter to see what was going on, and then I left that situation ready to fist fight people. So. Yes. I don't know. No. Don't do that.
Yeah, you've already said don't and everything, and I agree with you. I'm not going to, but that was the reason why I asked you.
This is just me hammering home the point.
Hammering home. No, Moody.
It's like, no, Moody. I wanted to do a violence.
Just for everybody out there who may not know which letter we're referring to, so this was this is a letter from those who'd been nominated and elected to Jeff Keighley's future cast of video games to be the spearhead of all things good going forwards. And one of the things they tried to ask Jeff to do, among many things, was talk about the horrific genocide going on to the fine citizens of Palestine at the moment. And Jeff, for one reason or other, decided, nope, not going to do that. And so there's a brilliant piece on The Wired talking about the ramifications of that, and talking about the Discord calls that Jeff has with the Future Class server, and how that's as much of a shit show as the actual Game Awards was, kind of thing. And it details a letter, essentially a petition that people could sign, whether they're part of the future class of video games or just in the industry or just a fan of video games, kind of thing. And that's been getting several thousand signatures at this point, and it's one of these where, okay, if there's this much of an upswell for support for a discussion topic, whether it is Palestine or the over 10,000 layoffs and things like that, and still that's not enough to get stuff done, then what is the point of being on the future class? And so I highly recommend everybody go check that out.
I know we've already spoken about Keighley and the shit awards and everything, but I'm very fascinated about next year. What he does, if they do anything or anything. I don't think they do anything. I agree with what you're saying there, Amy. But I think that if he did, I think, there'll be a revolt against him. Then, more than what there is now against it.
I can see him banking on people having short attention spans, and like you said, not changing anything. It's kind of right. He over course corrected to get away from 8-minute speeches from Chris Judge and things like that. And this is what we got this year, kind of thing. And it'll be, people weren't that mad. And if they were mad for 5 minutes. So let's just keep what it was. Numbers were up. They sent out, press releases saying...
That's all he cares about, man.
Yeah, this is it. So if the metrics are going up, then don't change anything. There's no press, bad press kind of thing, in terms of getting attention. And people will be morbidly curious as to what they put together next year, kind of thing. So I have little faith in that making change. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We are not doing a Game Awards podcast next year.
That's fair. I'll say one thing. I think what Mr. Greg Miller said on Games Daily about it, saying if you want to see the awards, go and watch the award shows like Dice. That's what he hosts.
Yes.
So he's hosted for 10 years, I think now. And it doesn't get viewership. I think we've talked about it once or twice on here, Amy. I might be wrong there. Or anything like that,
we've talked about it a few years around.
Yeah, but we've never actually sat down and watched it. And I know it's a really terrible time for us and everything, but it's something I think like all the whining, like what we've done and what other people have done. I think Claire's kind of got a point there as well, saying go and watch those awards. Actually more important than the video game announcements and everything, like he's spot on. Like go and watch the DICE Awards, watch the BAFTAs that were just what's coming up shortly. Watch I know it's already passed, but like the golden joystick awards, joystick awards that
and the IGF. That's the right one.
Get involved in those, watch them and everything, and hopefully maybe things can change and everything, but we'll see.
We won't. He was doing this shit 10 years ago, man. Fucking Mountain Dew and Doritos. It's just they're on bigger stage with a bigger production budget now. He hasn't changed and he never will. But yes, that article, I've written a note for future Amy and the thing to find the link, put it in the description, so you'll be able to get that.
Great stuff.
And go sign the letter, which will also be linked in the description. It's a good letter.
It is. It's not unreasonable at all.
It's not an unreasonable request. It's like it's like two sentences.
Yeah.
Especially with that audience. But anyway, enough about Jeff Keighley.
I'll say one more thing about Greg Miller, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry.
Greg
Miller.
Yeah, not Jeff Keighley, don't worry. Shout out to him and Kind of Funny, and also what GameSpot were you? I think you said Vitz in the Discord about what's happened with Insomniac and everything. Shout out to all of them for that. I think what they just said was amazing. So
I've got my bookmarks tab for like news sites that I cycle through. Just in general for the podcast, but also just in general. I've deleted quite a few links out of there this week.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that. Fuck you. That was what I was referring to earlier in the podcast, where I was like, I came off of my Twitter experience ready to fist fight people. I was like, no, fuck off. We're not doing this. But apparently we were doing this.
No, I just wanted to shout out the ones who have doing really good things.
The discourse.
Yeah.
Discourse,
You can say there's been a leak at Insomniac. And but like, and you can say like, and they got a bunch of this stuff, it's really bad, but then it's like following that immediately up with an article about here's all the release dates for the Spider-Man games or whatever the fuck it was. It's just like, man, give it a rest. You can tell that a lot of very experienced people have left games journalism in the past few years.
Yeah. And also it was impressive how the internet decided, you know what, we've got another shot at having like worst video game Discord day of the year. we're going to make that a thing.
The year's not over.
It's only a few more fucking days of this year, man. Jesus.
Well, let's not forget that one New Year's Day, West, the Square Enix president declared the end of fun in video games.
That's
true. We got off to a banger.
He did indeed. It's no doubt. He did indeed.
Discourse thrives 24/7, 365 days a year. No holidays, no sick pay, no time off. So let's start some discourse of our own with our Game of the Year deliberations.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
I'm sure everyone is going to be overjoyed with the games that we select for our top 10.
It's all going to be harmonious. It's all going to be chill. It's going to be great times.
I meant the wider internet. I think we'll get along just fine. But I'm sure everyone will be like, oh, we'll get no pushback, not whatsoever, none whatsoever. But anyway, we're doing Game of the Year slightly differently. By slightly differently, I mean completely differently this year, because there's 3 of us now. And rather than do like a weird 3-way ping pong match where we just each count down our own lists, I thought we could build our own list live on the podcast.
That's fun. Sounds good.
Yeah. So we'll split it up into three. There's going to be like 3 sort of sections to this, and I'll go through them each like in specific as we get to them. But in the first section, it's really easy because all we're going to do is we're just going to say the games that we want to talk about, potentially like as part of the year that was 2023. No justifications needed, no explanations needed, nothing. We're going to build a big list, relatively big. And then in the second part, we're going to start trimming that list down until we've got 10 games left. And then in the third part, we're going to start from number 10, and we're going to build a list up to number 1.
Yes.
And we're going to do all of this cooperatively.
Mm-hmm.
I have created a doc to write the list.
Oh, I've got it in the Google Doc, but...
Well, fuck you then. Okay, you can do all this.
No, it's a good idea. I already did the thing. It's in the, it's in the thing. It's in it's in the show notes. I'd even deleted the part.
I have not looked at that. I haven't looked at it.
I even deleted the part where it's the Wuthering Heights quote. I'll put it back next year.
It's an eternal thing.
Because it's just the best of times right now. That's all we're going to talk about. So yeah,
I've closed my doc. I'll just leave that.
Let's name some games. So I'm going to put the first 2 out of the way because like they're the default picks for any game of the year, which is any game of the year in 2023 discussion, which is Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't realize when I came up with this, I didn't realize how fast I was going to have to type.
Oh, it's all good.
Take your time, don't rush.
I think that's the first time you've ever said that on this podcast. Usually it's, come on, man, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go. So let's just start throwing games out there.
Can we have Vember on the list, please?
We can certainly have...
Exactly. That was going to be my first pick as well.
No justifications. No, it doesn't even need to be in any kind of order. You don't need to ask. You just say a game. We'll throw it on.
Like a dragon, Ishin.
Like a dragon, Ishin, as Keith would say. I am going to throw... This isn't like a round-robin thing, by the way. Like, we're not going in sequence or anything. I'm going to throw Slay the Princess up.
Fair enough. Marvel Spider-Man 2, please.
I'm just going to write Spider-Man 2.
That's fine. Yeah.
Dead Space remake.
Dead Space. Let's get Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah.
And Alan Wake 2. For me.
Cocoon.
Oh, God. I always forget. It's 2 C's and 2 O's, right?
Yeah. 3 O's.
No, Cocoon. Nope.
Not you. Yeah, nope. You take the 1 C out. Yeah. There you go. Shadow's Gambit, the Cursed Crew.
Oh, let me just...
Shadow who?
Shadow's Gambit,
the Cursed Crew.
The Cursed Crew. While I'm remembering, it's You saw.
Yeah.
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars. Nice. I'm sure this is riveting. Like viewing, it's just me looking down, going click, 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 click. Don't worry, we'll get to it. A space. I'm going to put a space for the Unbound up there as well.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Nice. We've already got a nice little spread of games. I'm liking it.
Stray Gods, the role-playing musical.
Stray Gods.
Yeah. Alan Wake 2.
It's already on there.
Oh, sorry.
The Expanse, a Telltale series.
The Expanse. I'm going to throw in a couple here. Resident Evil 4.
Interesting.
Yep. And Dead Island 2. If you told me I was going to say those words on a Game of the Year podcast in January, I would have gone, you fucking crazy.
Speaking of games with numbers at the end, Final Fantasy 16.
Final Fantasy... I'm going to stop repeating them out loud. This is what I usually do. You should see me write a video. I say a script. I literally am talking the entire time.
American Arcadia.
Good shout. Goodbye.
That's what I was going to say next.
Volcano High.
I think this one has to be on just for its mechanics alone. Viewfinder.
That's
I was about to mention that.
Oh, I've got one. This one is going to need a minor explanation. Bramble the Mountain King. This is going to need a minor qualification because this is a game that Moody worked on as a QA tester. Now, it's not on the list because Moody worked on it as a QA tester. It's on the list because I played it earlier this year and really enjoyed it. I thought I'd just jump out in front of that train as I thought of it.
God bless you.
I want it on here. It's on here.
Jesus.
You know what else I'm gonna throw? I've got a couple more that I want to get. Day of the Diver.
Yep.
And we've already had November. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Highland
Reg?
Song.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody have any more?
Super Mario Wonder.
Super Mario Bros. Vitz is really carrying us with the popular games. He's making sure we don't get shouted at.
That's it.
It's not going to make the list, but I want to put it on. It's not going to make top 10, but I want to put it on. Aliens Dark Descent.
Aliens Dark Descent.
Oh, and this one as well, because I didn't think this was going to be as good as what it was. Throw Star Trek Resurgence on there.
Let's go.
Why the hell not?
You know what?
Like
Fuck
that?
it. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. There's a dog barking very loudly outside my window. It must be loud because I can hear it off my headphones.
Now, this might be one that gets dismissed in the first round of discussions, but
Doesn't
could we put God of War Ragnarok Valhalla on here?
God of War. Yeah.
Hey, going off what everyone's saying about it, like apparently it's great.
Like, am I gonna have to fucking rent this damn thing again just to play this goddamn thing? Like,
I think you're gonna have to, Amy.
I've been
tempted about it.
I was done with it.
I have been tempted to download this thing, especially as it's free. Apparently, like it's amazing. So
I've heard, I've heard it's way more than just like, look, it's a roguelike now.
yeah,
Punch.
For the populist crowd, should we put Street Fighter 6 on the list?
Yeah, can't do. Again, we can put whatever you want on. That's 5. No one likes Street Fighter 5. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. I think I'm good.
Planet of Lana.
Planet of Lana. Yeah, really quickly open up something on my phone and just make sure I haven't forgotten anything really fucking obvious.
yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Like, I've obviously played more games, but yeah, we've got that.
I know you were really excited for this one, Amy. So I'm questioned unless you haven't played it. The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood.
I did not play it yet.
Oh,
see,
no,
like, that's the
not
thing.
really.
There's a few games that I haven't
You
played.
just missed. Yeah.
Like we talked about, In Stars in Time, Chance of Sonar. Like, once I've finished Yakuza, replaying Yakuza Like a Dragon, I'm going right into The Man Who Erased His Name, so that I'm ready for Infinite Wealth. And it's like, all of those 4 games would probably be on here if I'd played them.
Yeah.
In
I'm
time.
looking for my list. I don't think there's anything.
I should have numbered this.
Maybe throw Diablo 4 on there.
Diablo 4. Yeah, I think I'm tapped out for games that I want to bring to this conversation.
So as
Oh,
well.
Lights of P, please.
Yeah,
Last one.
absolutely. Hey, that's what this section is all about.
And Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
6. Are we locked in?
And I think I'm good.
Cool. Should I read all of these out?
I can do it if you want.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So on the list so far, we have The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. We have Baldur's Gate 3. We have Vember. We have Like a Dragon Ishin, Slay the Princess, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Dead Space, Octopath Traveler 2, Alan Wake 2, Cocoon, Shadow's Gambit, The Cursed Crew, Jusant, Sea of Stars, A Space for the Unbound, Hi-Fi Rush, Stray Gods, The Expanse, Resident Evil 4, Dead Island 2, Final Fantasy 16, American Arcadia, Goodbye Volcano High, Viewfinder, Bramble the Mountain King, Dave the Diver, A Highland Song, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Aliens Dark Descent, Star Trek Resurgent, Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, Street Fighter 6, Planet of Lana, Diablo 4, Liza P, and Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon.
I like the way you said Fires of Rubicon.
Oh, you have to. It's a law. You have to say that full title of that game. It's so badass.
It is the law.
So we locked in.
I think so.
We are locked in. All right, cool. Let's move on to step 2. Let's chop this fucker down. Let's get it like the wheat, like the trees with the big machete, and we're just gonna go shwa shwa until we've only got 10 games left.
Okay.
Should be easy, right? It's not been that great yet, right? Like,
Just a handful of games came out. It's no big deal.
Let's kick it off with a game. Let's kick it off. Like I would like to propose a motion to the Senate.
The chair recognizes Amy.
We don't have to do that every time. Let's chop Star Trek Resurgence. I really enjoyed that game, and I know you really enjoyed that game. And it's a very good game. I agree.
I just think it deserves a shout. It's a game that is better than I think both you and me ever thought it was actually going to be.
Yes.
Amy, we loved it, but we also have the knowledge of we are Star Trek nerds. So it was right up. It was the game that we've basically been waiting for to the most extent.
Yeah.
As close as it's going to get for us at this moment in time. Yeah, we really are. And it was just a darn good game. Had problems, no doubt about. Some of the mechanics were just no. But the characters were really well written, and it was just a really fun Star Trek adventure. And yeah,
they made a good sequel to one of the worst episodes of Star Trek of all time. Hard to argue with that.
Shout out, Jessie Genders just done a review for it, and she was like, "What the hell?
The fuck?" I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it, and I was like, "I know she's gonna love this. It's so fucking nerdy and deep. It's such a deep dive into Star Trek." But anyway, let's chop it.
I would, even though I proposed it, I propose we chop Diablo 4 off the list as well.
Yeah.
Just because.
It's
a title that gained a lot of traction during the year, kind of thing. But I think in a list where we're trying to get to the top 10, it ain't me.
Me and Amy played it, and it was a drag.
I feel like you could feel the boredom over the Discord call.
Yeah, it was a drag and a half.
Well, we tried.
Cut Aliens Dark Descent. Again, it was a game that it's on here just to get the shout out more than anything. It's a game. It's an Aliens game that I didn't think was going to be any good it was, and it is really good. It's a XCOM Aliens game, and it plays really well. The aliens were really awesome and terrifying at the same time, especially if you get overwhelmed. It's just like, oh, mother of God. It's it felt like
over,
like you were
over.
It felt like you were in that Aliens in the film Aliens when they all came for the final crew members who were still alive. I was just like, this is awesome, but oh my God, I'm dying.
This is amazing.
It's not so amazing anymore.
Now I know how it feels playing Dark Souls. Let's also cut, if I can find it, for similar reasons, Dead Island 2. I just really wanted to shout out the fact that this game went through such a horribly protracted development hell and came out of the other side a really solid, fun game that I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing.
For the Fighter K community, Street Fighter 6 was a high point this year, but I think between the three of us, so I'm happy for it to not continue to do the next
I wish I gave it a try. Apparently, going off from what Steph Sterling says about the accessibility on that game is apparently incredible. That they made them be able to play a fighting game and be good at it. And I'm just like, I wish I got to it. It just came out the time literally when you were down here, weren't you, Amy, to play? And
it was on your, it was on your desk, just to your side.
To my side, and it was just like we never got to play in it. And by the end of it, we were both playing old games before Amy left.
Moody was sat at his desk playing Yu-Gi-Oh while I was sat on his sofa next to him playing Dead Cells.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You did try the Liza P demo. Yeah,
did try that. What else have we got?
We can speak about Liza P now. So I watched the one and only Andy Cortez play this game because it's one of these where I've done my Soulsborne time with Elden Ring. Thank you very much. But Liza P looked really interesting from a spiritual successor to Bloodborne. Not to offend any Bloodborne stands out there in listener land, but it gave those kind of vibes, and what they did with the Pinocchio tale I thought was really interesting, and what they teased with what's going to be their follow-up game is even more interesting of how they did that. But yeah, a shout out for it being a wonderful game to watch somebody else play and to experience all the ickiness that was going on there. Yeah.
Nice. Let's get rid of Dead Cells. Return to Castlevania.
Sure.
Fantastic mashup of Dead Cells and Castlevania. But I'm not, like, in a year as good as this, I'm not going to argue for DLC to make it onto our top 10.
It's good to see that we're finally seeing what they're doing next.
Yeah.
Because they've kind of rode the Dead Cells IP for a while now. I know it's a while in the background doing their new game and everything, but like, yeah, it's like time to move on, guys. Time to bring out something new or something, you know? And yeah, but yeah.
If this is the end of Dead Cells, it was a really good, like the end of like a Dead Cells like updates. It was a really good one.
For me, Planet of Lana, I think that needs to go.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. Like both me and Amy played it and we reviewed it, and our consensus was pretty much the same, if I remember rightly.
Yeah,
like we both said this is visually beautiful, score beautiful, but the story was just like non-existent. It was boring and landed flat, and it was just boring by the end. I felt like, and it was just like, yeah, it just didn't work, didn't land. But again, a beautiful game. It was visually stunning.
I'm down with that.
So.
Yes, I should have mentioned at the beginning. You are allowed to disagree.
Yeah. No.
Just for later. Put that one in your pocket for later.
Yeah. I would like to make a similar argument about Viewfinder. I played it. I really loved the gameplay. However, the story fell flat for me, and it didn't leave me with any sense of wonderment, like what I was expecting going in, and maybe that's on me in terms of the perceptions that I built for this game going in. Gameplay, amazing, but from a story point of view, yeah, not so much.
There's a reason why I said just for the mechanic alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story's boring. It's crap even, and everything, but the mechanic is absolutely amazing and should have been given more love when it came out and everything. But
yes.
No, yeah, for me, yeah.
Yeah, no, like I would probably be the one who could fight the hardest for Viewfinder to stay on, because like it's one of the best mechanically, like one of the best puzzle games I've played in 5 years. I don't know. People always say that, like it's the best I've played in 5 years, but it's just a generalization.
It's more like, it's like you've just forgotten the last 5 years.
I've just forgotten what I've played over the last 5 years.
Yeah. You've played hundreds of bloody games. You cannot remember that many.
Yeah, but that's a good thing about it, because the ones I do remember must have been good.
Yes.
But yeah, no, like Viewfinder, like if I sat down to make a top 10 for the year, it would definitely be on my mind to do it. But looking at the games that we have on the list and knowing that I'm not like this isn't Amy's top 10 games of the year, like I'm cool with that. We can chop that.
Quick mention for Armored Core 6 for the
another game from Software fans are coming for us.
Yeah. I wanted to include on here to make sure I shout and to encourage people to explore all 3 endings which are available in the game for in the New Game Plus run. They do tend to mix things up, and the story just gets wilder and wilder from as you go on. So yeah, I don't think it's going to make either of our top 10s or the top 10 here kind of thing, but yeah, go play that title.
Yeah, I didn't play it. Like I'm the biggest From Software fan around these parts of YouTube, but I've never liked Armored Core. Yeah, like I played the older games back in the day, and it just went for me. So like I was felt safe skipping this, knowing we were getting Elden Ring DLC soon. So soon.
Right, so this is where a fight might happen. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I think that needs to get cut. I think I understand why people love this game, but for me, it was just a normal 2D platform game. It has some interesting mechanics to it, but I just thought it doesn't do anything as special as that everyone for me was making it out to be.
I think that's fair. I think that a lot of people who came to Mario Bros. Wonder didn't necessarily play the other 2D Mario games. So they may have played like the original Super Mario Brothers, like 1, 3, and World and that kind of thing, but then wouldn't necessarily have touched into New Super Mario Brothers and things like that. And yeah, I think from an artistic perspective, it's amazing, but yeah, for what it delivers at the end of the day, it's missing a tiny bit of magic. So I'm in agreement.
Okay.
Damn it, Vitz, I wanted a fight. Come on, man.
Don't worry.
I'll give you fights.
Any Nintendo fans who are out there typing angry comments in the YouTube thing, don't worry, I got you later on. Don't worry, I've got you. Just I haven't played this.
Yeah, I did. I played a couple of hours of it, and I was just like, "There's nothing much to it." Wow, you turn into an elephant! Congratulations.
I've set myself up to throw myself on a particularly awkward sword here, but I think we should cut Bramble.
Excuse me.
I think I love that game, and like I said to you when I streamed it, like it's not just that I enjoyed the game, it made me want to seek out like actual, was it Swedish folklore?
Norse, no, yeah,
like Nordic folklore. Like it's actually
Nordic
made me want to seek out the stories that these creatures in this game are based on. It's a really, really good game. You should all go and play it. That's my 100% unbiased opinion.
Yes.
Thank you. I was surprised for it to be on the list, so thank you.
I put it on the list. I enjoyed it, so it had to go on there. Dead Island was going on the list. Bramble had to go on the list.
Yeah.
I think a Highland song should leave.
I agree, but I hate that I agree.
Wow. Okay.
We
were different for this. Week. Yeah, we were both reviewed this last week, so.
But also, it also carries a slight sting for you in terms of missing out on the Fantasy Critic because of this title. The critics on that today. That's fine.
Look, right?
Is this how it is? Because Amy did a win, didn't count no more. We don't care. We don't worry about it
anymore. Yeah, Dad, screw you, Inkle. No. Like it was a really awesome game, except for that one thing that where it's like a counting down to the days, and then you get to the end, and then the countdown doesn't matter, and I rushed through the game for nothing, and I should have just taken my time, and it annoyed the shit out of me. Other than that, fantastic, amazing game. But it definitely.
And I just got vexed at it.
Yeah, and you just got lost.
Yeah, I got lost and I got vexed, and I was just like, "Fuck you, game."
To be fair, it was basically getting lost to the video game. That was the idea, but it was just like, it's.
I'm happy to talk about God of War Ragnarok Valhalla for a sec.
Yeah, sure.
I appreciate that in a stacked year as what we've had this year, kind of thing. A free DLC like this is a must play. However, I think there are titles on this list which are more deserving to be featured on a top 10 overall kind of thing. But it was more just go play Ragnarok Valhalla, especially if you've played through the original God of War games. You will get a lot more from that. Having said that, if you're new series only jumping with God of War 2018, then there's plenty for you to enjoy here too. But it's free, and I think the only demand it makes on you, even though it doesn't quote unquote say this, is that you play through the main campaign of Ragnarok first, which most players will do beforehand. But yes, go enjoy that, and it's amazing. Yeah, exactly.
I was having a shit week, so I just played God of War. So we are down to 22 games on our list. So we need to cut 12 more games. 12
more to go.
It's not that bad. When you think about it, it's not that bad. It looks that bad. Because we're just about to start getting past the easy cutting phase. The ones that we all set up to cut really easily.
Now the fights begin, right?
Almost.
Cut Dave the Diver. Reason? It's not an indie game. That's the reason.
Yes. You're going to cut the biggest indie game of the year, Moody? How dare you?
Had the biggest team working on that game too.
I can't really comment on this game. I never played it. So I'm going to leave this to you, Amy.
Yeah,
I believe you're the only one out of us three of us who played this. Am I wrong?
I played a significant portion of this game over the summer. Like, completely came out of nowhere for a lot of people, which is mad considering like how many reviews it had on Steam in early access. But it was a surprising mix of a bunch of cool, like different mechanics and different genres, and it was quite satisfying to get into that loop of running a restaurant and then going and doing the ridiculous fishing stuff and then backwards and forwards, and it would keep bolting on these new mechanics to the point where you'd be like, at some point it's going to be one mechanic too far. And it never was. Like, it never went. I never thought, oh man, I've got to do this now. Like, so God, yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game, but I had no illusions of trying to get it up into the top 10.
Fair enough. Where do we stand on American Arcadia?
I didn't play it, unfortunately.
Neither did I. So Moody, the only eyes of the world turn to you.
Everybody
and the other games on this list.
Vitz, if you just look slightly up and to the right, and I'll other side, and I'll look this way. There you go. Perfect.
No pressure.
Perfect. No pressure, Moody. No pressure.
I want to keep it on for now. I want to see the rest.
I'll put
if that's okay with you guys.
I'll put a star next to it, and we can keep it on for now.
I think Resi 4 should go.
On what grounds?
Neither me or Amy enjoyed this game.
That's an oversimplification.
I was ready to kill Leon Kennedy by the end.
Ashley was more bearable in this one.
Ashley was more bearable. There's no doubt about it. It felt old for a remake. That's the thing about it. Like, all the remakes that they've done, Resi 2, Resi 3, didn't feel old. Like, it updated the style of what it used to be. I know that the originals were tank mechanics and everything. This has changed to those two were changed to a third person's perspective, or the Resi 4 perspective. But those games, you could basically, unless you try to do everything, you could basically get those games done within like an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours and everything. And if you wanted to do everything, it's probably just like 6 to 8 hours. This was like a 10 to 15 hour game that just felt like it wouldn't bloody stop. And I was, by the end of it, I think even in our review, I was like saying the final cut, I was just like, come on, man, come on by the end, like enough already. And I was just like, I knew I was so close to finishing. I was just like, I'll be annoyed at myself I didn't finish it, but I was just like, I was close to just saying, fuck it, no, I'm not finishing you. But I did finish it, but it was like, it felt like a drag, and a game shouldn't make you feel exhausted.
100%. I think that also echoes for those interested in chasing the platinum game, which demands you make, I think it's more than playthrough, including like to chase after speedruns and completing with certain weapons and
I went down that rabbit hole with Resident Evil 2 remake. I know exactly what that's all about.
I think with the original Resident Evil 4 being so hallowed and revered kind of thing, that I think Capcom found themselves in a position where, okay, if we change too much, then people are going to be angry. Update things enough, then people are going to... So it's a kind of a no-win situation. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I was saying Capcom was in a pretty difficult, or may have found themselves in a difficult situation in terms of the original being so hallowed and revered, in terms of, okay, what can we update without annoying everybody? So, Resident Evil, it was a pleasure to have you on this list so far. Bye, Felicia.
I was going to try and make an argument to keep it for a little bit, but then I was just like, no, you know what? I mean, I didn't not enjoy the game.
That's the thing about there was the parts I enjoyed as well, but sorry,
but we got a better Resident Evil 4 remake like 2 years ago, so yeah. It's called Resident Evil Village.
There you go.
Facts. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's cut Sea of Stars. As much as it's a very fun game, as me and Moody both pointed out when we reviewed it on the podcast last week, it does absolutely nothing wrong. It's a very good game, but neither one of us, like, we both got to points in that game and we just went, I'm okay now.
Fair enough.
I played everything I want to play with this game.
I agree.
But if you are interested in playing this, it is available on Game Pass. And
it is very good. It is very good.
And on the PlayStation Pass thing, whatever the hell it's called, I think it's on that as well.
It is.
Oh, awesome. That's where I played it. That's why I played it, mate. Yeah. I played it on that. So
that's 10. So we're halfway. We've got to chop this in half now.
Okay.
Go American Arcania. Yeah, no, looking at the list, I'm just thinking, it's overall, I think it probably land in the top 15 probably, but I think overall, it's a game that I stand by. I think it's got one of the best endings of the year. It's such a great ending. And again, shout out to Yuri Lowenthal, or whatever his name is.
Yuri Lowenthal, yeah.
He is like so underappreciated for his voice work. He does again a great performance in this. Like I said last week, maybe better in his Spider-Man 2 performance. I wasn't fully sure, but it was still great because it's the two completely different characters and performances on this. And he already made me cry in Spider-Man 1, so it's like but no, either way, go and check out America Arcadia. It is a super fun game. Like I said last week, Truman Show meets the Escape from Alcatraz.
It's on my big backlog spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Moody, I'm going to address this specifically to you.
Okay.
The Expanse.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, that's still on the list. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about The Expanse for a minute. I do intend to finish it.
Okay, so you haven't finished it
No,
yet.
I haven't gone past the part where you saw me get it with you on Twitch. I did intend to go back to stream it on Twitch, and I have intended just to not do that and just finish the game, but I just keep getting distracted by other things. It's really good, though.
That's fine.
I enjoyed the first half of it.
Like it's difficult because you haven't finished it. Like I think that they get proper see where your thoughts would land with it. Like I really enjoyed it, but I do see like there's problems with certain things with the elements of the game. Like with the story, I'm just like that kind of wrapped up a little bit too easy. Oh, that's just there for a nice little cameo type thing, and and it's like. Type of thing. It's more it was never going to be in the top 10. I'll say this, so yes, it can get cut. It's a game though. I think that does. I'll say this right now. You did a stupid thing in not releasing this all at once. Like, why the hell didn't you do that? It's because it's been completely forgotten about, which is so unfair on the game because I think the game is a very good game. It's a well done story. It's a great story with a great character. If you've watched the Expanse show. The character you play is absolutely amazing, and you just see the evolution of her to the point of where you first see her in the show, and it's amazing. And yeah, shout out to Expanse.
Shout out. Yeah, like my issues with the game weren't necessarily with the story, but obviously I haven't finished it yet, and I love Karagi. She's just the best. It was more just a lot of the gameplay sections just always felt a little bit too long, and there was not really that much going on. So that was where I was coming from with that. But
the thing is, the next you're at the end of episode 2, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
The next 3 episodes are very fast. They're a lot shorter.
Excellent.
Fair enough.
So we're down to 8.
Well, 8 left to get rid of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moody's got the cheeky grin on his face where he's like, I'm going to kill something somebody loves.
Just done. I tried it. I didn't click with it.
I really love this.
It's on my list to get to over the holiday break.
It's very good. I really enjoyed the serene climbing. We talked about this earlier. Weirdly enough, we talked about this earlier in the air about climbing in video games and how it's just fucking bollocks. You just push forward.
We did actually.
And then, and then I played You Saw It, and I was like, oh shit! This is what climbing in video games should be. And I really loved it. If I was gonna cut something that I put on this list ahead of You Saw right now, it would probably be Goodbye Volcano High.
Get rid of both of them then.
I'm happy to have a conversation about Hi-Fi Rush as well. Once we've come to a decision.
Triple kill. Yes.
Goodbye Volcano High is great. I can't deny it. It was everything that I wanted it to be, but there were parts of it it kind of felt a little bit Resident Evil 4-ish in the part of that. I was like, okay, it's kind of You should have finished now. Let's get to the end now, type of thing.
That is the only time those two games will ever be compared in the history of video game criticism.
That's how it was for me. It was just parts of it was just like, oh, come on, guys, let's start speeding this up a little bit. It got a little bit slow, but again, the story is really good and the characters are so well written. I can't deny that. But yeah, I think
it was our Games for Impact.
It was our Games for Impact.
It was our Games for Impact, indeed.
It's such a good game. Like I think it does drag a little bit, but I think it sticks the landing so well that you kind of forget that there were a couple of chapters in there where it was like this is going on a little bit. But like of all the games I played this year, it was I think it might have been the only one where I was like openly weeping by the end of it, which wasn't great because it ends with a rhythm section. And I'm trying to see what's happening, and I'm like, God. It's
the rhythm sections sometimes were a little bit annoying.
I just turned the thing down. There was a setting that you could turn something down.
I had turned it down. It was still annoying for me.
But no, like the ending is beautiful. For Goodbye Volcano High. I think both you saw and Goodbye Volcano High would be my personal top 10. Like if I sat down and made a top 10. But in a collaborative space with people with more diverse tastes of games and stuff, like, yeah, okay, I'd be happy to cut both. But they're both very special games, I think, you saw, and Goodbye Volcano High.
Okay, Vitz, Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, so I know I put this
on just
the list.
You know, you're going to get the Xbox fanboys onto you here. It's the only Xbox game on here.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Shit.
Well, maybe they should have had a better year then.
Maybe Starfield should have been good.
Yes. Obviously, it was the darling of the industry at the start of the year and took everyone by surprise with the Shadow Drop. I think for everything that it tries to achieve, it does brilliantly. However, I think there are titles on our list which deserve a space more on our eventual top 10. So I'm looking forward to what this team does next, and obviously being like underneath like a sub team for not as a derogatory term, but under like Bethesda Game Studios and what have you. But yeah. That's it really. I think it's worth mentioning and to have some flowers on it, but I'm not sure that it's going to make the ultimate top 10.
We got 4 more to go.
Yeah, I lost count. I thought it was 5. It's only 4. I'm gonna cast a tentative line into some water here. Just to see if I get any bites, and I will feel free to back off if I have to. Cocoon.
I'm willing to it. Okay, it's the most beautifully designed game I've played in a good while. From a narrative perspective and using no lines of dialogue, no lines of text, and the way that the level design is and the character moves through the space and this game is actually pretty high on my individual list, so I'd be willing to put up a strong fight for it.
Leave a star on it for now.
Cool. And just because I think Moody missed the podcast where we talked about it, I have played it.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
You have played it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've played it.
Oh,
yeah,
that's amazing.
I wasn't throwing a hand grenade at something I knew nothing about. Me and Vitz talked about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's my hand grenade. Final Fantasy 16.
Oh,
okay.
On.
Now
I've got a bit for this.
Violence.
Hey, Vitz, who am I?
Yeah?
Oh no, there we go. Just turn it back down.
There you go.
Sorry.
The baby has awoken.
I was literally waiting for Final Fantasy 16 to come out of someone's mouth, so I've been holding this remote for like 5 minutes.
Audio listeners, you missed a dynamite Ben Starr impression from the one and only game.
Now,
Ben, if you're listening, we love you.
I'm not getting involved in this.
This is you two are the only ones who have played this.
This is a fight between you two.
It's not a fight against me at all. This is between you two. You the only two who have played this. And all I know is that Vitz really likes this. You did not really like this, Amy. So personally, it's between you two. I just thought, yeah, I want to throw a grenade in. Throw a stick of dynamite into the lake. Into the water. And see what I caught.
So yeah, as you say, I'm in the position that this is a really enjoyable game. Is it one of the best games that came out this year? I would argue that there are more titles which are better than it. However, it remains one of my favorite games. But we're not rating our favorite.
Well, we are. This is a very personal list. It's just a very personal.
All right then. Fight re-engaged. No, I'm joking.
Fight mode activated. Let me just get my piece out, which is just I know how much you love this game. So as much as I would say it's not in my top 10, I'm not gonna fight you right now to keep it on the list.
No, that's fine. I think let's put an asterisk next to it. I think for what it does, because a lot of it is bare bones in terms of how linear the game is and some of the environments and things like that from a presentation point of view, from what it does in the audio space. I think is some of the best that we've seen this year. However, there are some titles on here which I'm not too familiar with, so I'd rather hear some discussions about those before I start swinging fists. Talk to me about Shadow's Gambit: The Cursed Crew, because I haven't got a clue what this is.
Okay. Yeah, I need a list up for this. Just 2 seconds.
I don't remember what this is.
It's more about the developer I want to remember.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Yeah, so give us 2 seconds.
But we're getting through this list. I thought that
no.
You know, I think we're making good progress.
Like when you really boil it down to like what you're really willing to fight for, it turns out it's only like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah, that's it.
Shadow's Gambit, Curse Crew is a stealth strategy game where you are on a ghost ship with a living soul, and you are assembling a cursed pirate crew, embracing the magical powers that you have with it, with each different unique character, and you're trying to get to a mysterious treasure of the legendary captain. I don't know how to say that name. Overall, this is the thing I want to shout out for this game even more is that the developer and publisher itself, Minimus Games, have shut down because shortly after this game. They've dropped nothing but bangers out the last few years. Like when the last game they dropped, Desperados 3 was in my top 10 list when it came out that year. And it's basically the same type of game, just with cowboys and it is a stupendous game. If you remember like games like Commando, it's basically that, just with pirates, and it's absolutely brilliant. Each character is different, they're unique, with different voices, all voice acted and everything. It's disappointing of what happened with the company and everything, because they just suddenly just shut down. Basically, what I remember when we talked about it.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone who was part of the team has landed on their feet, because they were trying to like move them on to try and find other places and everything and whatnot. But it's also like, I don't know if the company is actually technically shut down yet, because they've been releasing DLC for this game and whatnot.
Well, they did say they were going to release like content for it, and then
I know, but it's just but no, this for me is a game I think should stay on. I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm the only one who's played it and everything, but right now I think it's just an exceptionally well done video game.
You're the only one who's played another game on this list, Moody, and I'm not going for anywhere near that.
Yeah, I think Stray Gods should probably get taken off. I think it is a wonderfully voice acted performance game with great voice actors. The dialogue and story is really well done, but again felt a bit speed up type of thing. Come on, why are we taking so long? We should be near the end of the game for me personally. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it, and it probably would be on my overall at least scraping the top 10 if it didn't. It really just outside of it, but it would definitely be like an honorable mention if it wasn't. But yeah, that's how. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I played the demo.
It's right. I'm surprised. I know this is how crazy it has been. There's been so many amazing games and games that we've wanted to try. But yeah, I was very surprised they didn't get around to it because there's some characters on there, Amy. I'm just like, they're all you.
It was when I played the demo, I was like, let's fucking go. But it was a timing thing. And then when I had the time, I didn't have the money for it. And then when I had the money for it, I didn't have the time for it. And it just like, I was stuck in this like vicious cycle. It doesn't help that it came out right around the time of Baldur's Gate, which according to my Steam stats, I played for an entire month.
That entire game disrupted everybody, I think.
Yeah. I think it's like half of the games I've said that have been on this list that I've said I can't wait to play it. Probably all, like if Baldur's Gate had never happened, I probably would have played all of them.
It's like the term game of the generation is often overused. However, I think with Baldur's Gate, we may not be alive for when Baldur's Gate 4 comes out. The time it takes for these things to come around. So I think
dude, I intend to live forever.
So we're at the point of the podcast where we would normally take a halftime break, and given the fact that I would like we've got to get 3 more games off this list, and we're starting to throw around a lot of asterisks.
Yeah. Get the 3 games off and then have the halftime break.
Okay, so Tears of the Kingdom, anybody? I'm kidding.
Hush your mouth.
Vitz will kill me. And to be honest, so will Amy. Amy will kill me.
Yes.
You're the only one I know who's played this one, Amy. A Space for the Unbound.
Yeah, see, so while you guys have been talking about all this other stuff, I've been like looking at the games that I have on this list and going, okay, I'm going to need to get rid of something here. Mm-hmm. So I've been like having this internal debate while you've been talking about Final Fantasy and Shadow's Gambit. Like, what the fuck do I destroy? What do I snap my fingers and turn to dust? And I think it is going to have to be A Space for the Unbound. Like, this is if I put out a top 10, this is going to be high on my personal top 10. Mm-hmm. It's a fucking wonderful game. I believe it's a game from a developer in Indonesia. Forgive me if that's wrong. I played it 11 months ago.
It was an early game.
Yeah, it was like the first game I played in 2023. It's such a really, really good emotional narrative that it hit me in the feels a few times. The gameplay is fine for what it is.
Just chime in. The developer is indeed based in Indonesia. So,
excellent. I didn't get that right.
Well, good remembering.
Thank you.
Caucasian.
But it's a really, really special little indie game. That it annoys me that more people haven't heard of it. But I'm okay with putting that on the sacrificial pyre for now. But again, like top 10, easy for me personally. Okay. Maybe it's even top 5.
I'm willing to get rid of Final Fantasy 16 if we have a discussion about Dead Space. It's a remake.
I was being so nice to you about Final Fantasy 16.
All I wanted to ask really was so Dead Space, as I understand, it's a remake of the original title, still by EA and the same team.
What you
or
did to my camera?
This is it.
He's now
maybe just try turn your camera off in Discord and turn it back on again. That
fuck you. No, this is how mad I am. Moody.
There you go. What I wanted to ask more than anything is, what did it do to elevate itself over the original?
It made Dead Space playable. In the modern era.
Yes, it's more playable in the modern era, I think, because of what they did with the lighting and the sound effects in this game. It's more creepier and scarier than the original. They fixed the goddamn meteorite gameplay mechanic section, which was a complete giant hindrance of the original. Like Amy knows, like during the pandemic, I played the original, and holy shit, did I struggle to get past that, and it was a pain in the backside.
The whole thing is just like you play it and you think you remember how it plays, and then you remember its main its main inspiration was Resident Evil 4, like the original one. So it's got the similar sort of control scheme. So like if you ever like get struck with the urge to go black and play Dead Space, which is a phenomenal horror game, you quickly run into the controls and go, oh fuck no, fuck this. Yeah. So like for me, like Dead Space was just brilliant. Like it was so good to be able to play the game as I remembered it. So I definitely I'm putting an asterisk on there.
That's fine. I mean, with how eloquently you both put your argument across, I'm prepared to give Final Fantasy 16 the chop.
Okay, we only need to get rid of 2, so we won if we get rid of FF16. So if there's 2 other games that you can see on there instead of FF16.
No, I think the ones that I've personally put on there, I'm willing to fight harder than Final Fantasy 16.
Gotcha. I feel like after all of the derogatory like comments and jokes I've made over the past couple of months about FF16, it's like I've got to give you enough grace here.
Just so you know, you put asterisks on Alan Wake 2.
Did I? Oh, that was meant to be Dead Space.
We can get rid of that one if
we are not getting rid of that
one. Bite. Evan's about to do the dance right now.
Yep, we're down to 11. So we've got asterisks next to Dead Space, Cocoon, and Shadow's Gambit, the Cursed Crew.
If I was to choose out of Cocoon or Shadow's Gambit, for me, I would prefer to keep Shadow's Gambit on because I enjoyed that more than Cocoon. No offense to Cocoon, which I think is an absolutely incredible game with its level design and everything what you said, Vitz, about it. But Shadow's Gambit just means more to me, for me personally, just because of like I fell in. It's a game that came out of nowhere because I completely forgot they were bringing out a new game. Because they do stay very quiet about it, the bastards. And it just made me fall back in love with the company even more. And then obviously when the company said we're closing, I was just inside devastated to hear about that and everything. That's how it is for me. For me, if I was to choose, I would say take Cocoon out. But I would also go. What else? What does everyone else say?
Well, I'm going to let Vitz speak because it was my idea to put the asterisk next to it.
I'm down with that. What I will say
is there any other game on there would you say you think could go off it? Like I say, this thing, it doesn't have to be those 2 games.
No, I don't think there is. The only one I would potentially question is Like a Dragonetian, but I think
samurai sword through the fucking head, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a reason I haven't gone anywhere near it.
Only because that's a game I'm least familiar with of the ones we have left. I think Cocoon is a super special game. I would highly recommend everybody to go play it. However, let's strike it.
Well, let me say something, and I don't know if this is going to tip the scales in any way. So, Cocoon is a very special game for you, Vitz, and Shadow's Gambit is a very special game for you, Moody. So, I'm willing to back off on Dead Space purely because it is definitely one of the best games of the year. But as Vitz correctly pointed out, it is a remake.
Shows Like a Dragonetian.
Yeah, but I feel like if I tried to say Like a Dragonetian right now, that's all I'm going to say. It might not change anything.
I'm willing to let Cocoon slide.
Okay, then. I'm not willing for Dead Space to go off this. No,
that's fair.
For me personally.
Yeah, I'm just offering alternatives.
No, I appreciate that.
Because I'm going to dig my fucking heels in the second half of this podcast.
So let's run down the games that we have left. If we've got, we
are at 10. Yeah.
Okay, so the games that are left standing, we have The Legend of Tears of Baldur's Gate 3, Vember, Like a Dragon Ishin, Slay the Princess, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Dead Space, Octopath Traveler 2, Alan Wake 2, and Shadow's Gambit, The Curse.
I managed to get Octopath Traveler 2 up here. I'm so happy.
Yeah, you did. Oh, you would have been throwing fists through Discord.
I didn't think I was going to manage it.
I won't lie. When you said Dead Space, to say I'm willing to back off Dead Space, I was going to say, all right, then let's bring up Octopath Traveler 2 then. That's what I was going to say.
I think that could have started a really bad spiral where I would have said, all right, let's talk about Ishin. And then Vitz
all right,
just
let's talk about Slay the freaking princess.
And then Vitz just sat back going, yes.
Let them
fight my minions.
It's a little bit later than usual in the podcast, but let us take a halftime break. When we come back, we're going to start at number 10 on our Game of the Year list, and we're going to start building this thing until we have a top 10 games of 2023. And hopefully we'll all survive the process. As Anakin Skywalker would say, this is where the fun begins. So we're here. We've finally made it. We have 10 games, as Vitz just capped off like 10 seconds ago, if you've been watching this podcast. So now we're going to attempt to calmly organize these games into an ordered list from 10 down to 1. Does anyone have anywhere they want to start with at number 10?
Charles Gambit, The Curse Crew.
Okay. Let me find my mouse cursor. I'm going to need to type for this. Do you have anything you would like to add about Shadow's Gambit, The Curse Crew?
It's a great fucking game. Go and play it.
Is there any danger for it being delisted anytime soon if the company allegedly
Not to my knowledge, no. They don't intend to delist it.
No, there's a lot of a lot of companies have gone out of business, and their games tend to end up staying on Steam. It's just AAA publishers that delist their games.
Right. Okay.
That was me withering stare. Okay, cool. So we're down to 9. That was fast.
Keep talking. I just have to clean up some pee.
We can't.
How do we feel?
Right,
about
let's do the rest of this list. Let's just do the rest of this list while Moody's gone. Ishin number 9, yeah?
He's going to stab us so hard.
If I could type really fast and could be bothered, I would just do the best practical joke I've ever done.
Just copy and paste the whole thing.
Just put all of his games at the bottom.
Hey, buddy.
Hiya.
Hey.
We weren't talking about you.
Not at all. I can believe that.
Vitz did have a pertinent question, though.
Go on.
How do we feel about Dead Space at number 9?
No, it's not for me. No, I think it should be higher.
All right. Sorry, we'll use asterisks for that. I was like, I'll put an asterisk.
There's one game. I know we're at 9, but there's one game I'll argue to I'm blue in the face if it's not in at least the top 3, and that's Vember.
Gotcha. Well, I wasn't planning. I wasn't planning on mentioning.
I'm just going to state that right now.
How good? Did you see the audible gulp there? How good is Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2 is a great game. Sorry for putting it in there.
No, go for it.
But there is an asterisk on the story to it. It's a messy story. Even though there's parts in it where you're just like, God damn it, that was amazing. Oh, you're making me cry, type of thing, and all like that. But there's also parts of it where you're just like, that was underwhelming. A little bit. But like, I see where you're coming from with it. I do. I can understand why you're asking that.
Yeah, because I haven't played it. Yeah. That's why. That's the only reason.
I'm not entirely sure.
All right. Let's put an asterisk next to it.
Okay.
I'll
ask you a question.
I'm gonna throw one down on the list right now. Alan Wake 2.
Yes, I'll take that.
Okay.
I love Alan Wake 2. It's such an extraordinary game. The creativity, just how like bonkers it is, the personality behind it, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. But looking at this list and looking what I have to try and argue past, including arguing with myself, I'm okay with it. It's in the top 10. I'm happy with that.
If I'll be very interested to see what my thoughts are after I've played more of it.
You're gonna come back on the podcast when we come back and go, Amy, fuck you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But for me personally, it's the only person who's completed it. 100%, I might add.
What do we think of
I'm happy
for 8 Octopath Traveler 2?
No.
I have no dog in this race, so Amy, go for it.
No.
Okay.
You can't not just say no. Sorry for putting in there.
No. Well, Vitz said something.
No, I would propose if we put Spider-Man 2 here, with the caveat of it was the most fun that I've had in a game this year. Not necessarily the quote unquote best game, but the most fun I had swinging around New York as the Spider-Man and doing Spider-Man things. But for the other titles that we have to discuss, I can see them having more merit. So I would be happy with 2 going again.
What about Slay the Princess?
No, from the discussion that Amy and I had.
I'm asking questions, that's all.
Why are you coming for me? What about Dead Space, mate?
From my 2 cents on Slay the Princess, for everything that Amy said about this game, it's incredible, and it's one that I've yet to get to, but it is on the of things to try, and it's one of these where, as Amy's described it, it deserves to go high.
Okay.
I didn't even need to say anything.
There you go.
Okay, what about Octopath Traveler 2 then?
This Octopath Traveler 2 was... It's a hard one for me because
That's
it
what
was...
she said.
I know. It's... I did. It's because it's a... like, it is that game that got me through the all the shit that was going on.
The dark times.
The dark times. Yeah, let's just... This entire second half of this podcast is going to be Star Wars references.
Star Wars references, yeah.
Yeah.
Like... I said, like it's like Baldur's Gate 3, and that was all I played for like a month. And I just truly like love this game, especially as someone who never played the first one for more than 2 hours. I played it for like 2 hours, and then my controller broke. I vividly remember that. Like for me personally, I would put it above Dead Space. For me personally, but I know I'm not the only one who has a who's played Dead Space. But I am happy to have.
I will concede Spider-Man 2 at 8.
And then I'll
like
put.
Vitz said.
Okay. I'll put. You know what? I'll put Octopath Traveler 2 down at 7 then.
I was just asking a question because you haven't spoken about them. That's all. And I was just
it
curious,
just never.
that's
That's the thing about the way of doing this. It's like it never came up.
Yeah.
I was
like all the games that I hear that we're talking about is games that me and Vitz have played or something, you know. And I'm just like, wait, what about Amy's games?
Hey, hang on, I just put Alan Wake 2 down.
I know.
I'm the only one who fucking played it.
I think 6 should be Dead Space.
Yeah. Octopath Traveler 2, all of the 2s. We've got all of the 2s.
All the 2.
All grouped up.
The list as it stands at the moment, at number 10 we have Shadow's Gambit, The Cursed Crew. At number 9 we have Alan Wake 2. And 8 we have 2. At 7 we have Traveler 2. And at number 6 we have Dead Space. So moving into the top 5.
Yeah. Like Octopath Traveler 2, amazing game. Loved it a lot. Dead Space again. I already talked about it before, but fantastic remake. One of the best remakes I've ever played. So we're down to Zelda, Baldur's Gate, Vemba, Like a Dragon, Ishin, and Slay the Princess.
Amy, where's Zelda on your personal list, may I ask? Is it on your...
It is. It probably...
Baldur's Gate 3 and Zelda were basically put on, like we said at the beginning, that's basically what the top 2 for everyone is basically out there. And, you know, and it's just like, I haven't played either of those two games, Baldur's Gate 3 or Zelda. Like, I started Baldur's Gate 3, and then I was just like, I'm going to play it on PlayStation during the Christmas period and everything. So, like, I have no battle in the fight with these two guys. I'm just curious where these.
I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are with the UI and how it translates to the DualSense.
Me too. Like I'm just interested in general, like how that game works.
My boss says it transfers really well. He's played it on PS5s and he says it transfers really well.
But no, you are right. Like my top two, my personal top two, and again, I haven't written a top 10 list yet, but it's not some combination of Zelda and Baldur's Gate, not that much.
Vitz, have you played Zelda?
I sure have. I sunk 125 hours into it according to my Nintendo recap.
Okay, so where are those two in your personal list off the top of your head?
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is number 1.
Where's Gate?
Sorry, where's
Baldur's Gate? Yeah, I said Gate, sorry.
Where's the Gate?
Think, let me just bring it up.
It's in the garden, mate.
That's at number 3 for me.
Interesting.
But I haven't finished Baldur's Gate 3 yet. I'm in Act 3. I think I'm a fair ways into Act 3, but yes, at number 3.
It's a common misconception. I think I'm nearly finished this game.
And then there's Amy's there's so much more for you to you haven't explored yet, and you're about to explore. It's like,
I'm not even doing
there's
that.
A couple things left.
I'm literally just going, hey, have you been here yet? You should go upstairs in this building.
You should pay attention to what's on the floor.
Yeah, you should pay attention to the main thing and not the loot in the drawers, the big thing on the floor.
Amy, what can I say? I'm attracted to shiny things. It's like
yeah. Like for me personally, I'd be happy with Zelda being anywhere in the top 5. Like I'm not gonna sit here personally and try and argue it any higher. Like if it ended up at 5, that would be fine with me. Like I said to Moody last week when we sat down to talk about it, and I haven't finished it. I don't think I'm ever going to finish it. Not negatively, just in a way of like the thing that I like to do in this game is just to like log into it every now and again, find a space on the map I haven't been to, and go and see what's out there. And like that's just such a great experience, like in this specific game.
Yes.
Whereas normally I'm the opposite. I'm normally like, I don't want to go there, man. Was this game not finished yet, man?
So all the points you just mentioned, on top of that, for me, for a Legend of Zelda story, up there with one of the best in terms of, yes, it is formulaic in terms of what everything put down in Breath of the Wild. Story-wise, is this kind of thing, but the way it builds up and the way the score works into this, and how they've elevated the score this time around, it's world class, and for one of the many reasons, that's why it's at my personal number.
As much as the top 5 is going to be hard, I've just had this sudden realization that I think the top 3 might end in death. I've just listened to what you said, and I think I know what Moody's top 2 games are. It's going to be fascinating. This is going to be a fascinating bloodbath. The fact that I got Slay the Princess to the top 5.
I was just going to suggest how do you feel about Slay the Princess.
I'm fine with that. Like for me, again, I haven't done a personal top 10. It's definitely at least top 3, if not higher. And as Vitz, you were on the podcast when I talked about it. You know why I can't go into too much detail about why it's so amazing.
So I'll do this for you if you allow me to speak here for a moment.
Yeah, sure.
But Like a Dragon Nation at 5, Slay the Princess at 4.
I'm not going to argue. Tell me about Like a Dragon Nation.
Like a Dragon Nation is an amazing game that made me feel like a samurai. You are literally a man who has ran away from other stuff that's happened in his life. He's been people are chasing him because people believe he killed someone, and he hasn't everything, and he's trying to find the person who killed his mentor and clear his name and everything. And each character is just unique and in depth. Yes, it's Like a Dragon game, so there's parts like I said, like with I'm gonna bring it up again, Resi 4. I was like, just like, oh come on man, Jesus, why are you taking it so? Because it's literally like an anime where it's like it's finished, and then they start the next chapter. The new chapter is literally recapping what you have literally just finished. Like, and it's like, I've just seen this type of thing.
I just did this.
Yeah, and it's but it's so good. The combat was so good. The world, the world level and everything was just so realized and so rich and enthusiastic, and like I say, all the characters were just different and unique and just brilliant. They really were.
Yeah,
but Slay the Princess, I'm hearing nothing but amazing things, and it was, if I wasn't so knackered these days right now, I was hoping to get to it. I've got it installed.
I wasn't so Football Manager this year.
Shut up.
Yeah. I wonder if there was anything you could have played last hour this year.
And if my brain wasn't mush, and I could have just done, instead of just gone.
So, obviously, I haven't played Like a Dragon Ishin. I'm currently playing Yakuza Like a Dragon at the moment. So, like, while I haven't played this game specifically, like, I can understand why it would light that fiery passion inside someone. Because I feel the same way about the Judgment series and about like the one I'm playing currently, Yakuza Like a Dragon, which, considering they've changed the name of the franchise, is one of the most confusing video game names of all time. Like, there's something special about these games, about this series, that it's hard to put your finger on, especially considering I didn't play the first 7. But like, I get it. Like, I do get it. Which is why I was like, I'm not going anywhere near this. I remember Moody's review of this. I'm not going to touch this one. But for Slay the Princess, it's such a wonderful game in that, like, when you both sit down to play it, you're going to have such a vastly different experience to what I'm going to have, just based on how the game is structured. In that, like, you know, you just make choices, and then those choices will eventually, like, branch out and lead to, like, radically different paths through the game. And it's very funny, but also really poignant, like, as you start, like, uncovering, like, the meta story of what is actually happening. And like I said to Vitz, I played through it and had a lot. I've still got a lot to see in the game, but there is, like, an end point to the story, or the run, I guess you could say, where you reach an ending and you see the credits proper. And like, I was torn between my want to see the rest of the game, but also, like, just how personal that particular journey through the game was, that I didn't want to actually, like, overwrite the memories of it. So, like, it's a game I want to go back to and see all of the different branches and see where it all goes. But at the same time, it's just like, right now, no, I'm good with, like, the events and the story and where it all went. And, like, I knew I was going to love the game, but I didn't realize, like, it was going to get its hooks into me that much.
Yeah.
You should all play
I just watched Second Wind's review of it, and how the person described that game. I was just like, this screams like something I would love.
I think you would.
It annoys me that I haven't got around to it. So
it's like every sort. And I think I don't like. Wasn't playing it with a stopwatch, but I feel like every 10 or 15 minutes, I would click an option and something would happen, and I would just be like, holy fuck, that's fantastic. Like, and it's a game full of surprises.
That's great. That's amazing.
And it looks great.
Well, deserved number 4, I think.
The pencil art style is just...
Oh, the art style looked amazing, I won't lie. So before I'll just shout out all the top 10 right now. Number 10, Shadow's Gambit's Cursed Crew. Number 9, Alan Wake 2. Number 8, the Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Number 7, Octopath 2. 6, Dead Space, the 2023 remake. Number 5, Like a Dragon Ishin. And number 4, Slay the Princess. We're down to the final 3, which is a battle between Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, and November.
I feel like if you asked all of us right now, like, what would your top 3 be out of these games, I think all 3 of us would give completely different answers.
Yeah, we'd have different variations.
Yeah.
Okay, so may I make a shout for? Now this may come as, but can I make a shout for the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom being at?
Sorry, you broke up there.
You broke up there,
yeah. Tears of the Kingdom at number 3. My reasonings being, for as amazing as what this title brought to the franchise of Legend of Zelda and being a follow-up to Breath of the Wild, what Vemba brought to the table, for me, was more special. And that wasn't just a food pun. Unless you found it funny. In that case, yes, it was.
I was going to suggest Baldur's Gate 3 at 3 because Zelda's your number one, Vitz.
It is.
And you also loved Zelda very much, especially as you didn't really enjoy the sequel, the Breath of the Wild, shall I say. And you've given so much, like, heck, you did a fucking video about it, Amy, and everything. And I was just thinking, Baldur's Gate 3, both of you have said great things about it and everything, but I feel like you've given Zelda more love than Baldur's Gate 3. Oh. You've given Baldur's Gate 3 the sexy love, but
allow me to correct that misconception that I have apparently placed in your head. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the greatest role-playing games of all time.
100%.
I don't disagree what you're saying there.
Like, no, if I've given Zelda more love than Baldur's Gate 3, like, oops, I didn't mean to. But no, Baldur's Gate 3 for me is just, like, I played it for a month solid, like, and that's not even like, oh, you know, I just played it a couple hours here, a couple hours there. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 took over my life.
Took over August for you.
August. Like, I go to work, I come home, I'd eat food, I'd sit down, I'd play Baldur's Gate 3 till I was sleepy, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up and I'd be like, you know what, I've got an hour before I have to do anything. Let me just quickly sit down and do Baldur's Gate 3. Like that was the experience that I had personally with Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
I couldn't stop myself like playing
if I was to choose between these two games, I've already stated I'm probably not going to touch Zelda. Like, I've stated I'm going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3. So I think Vitz, you've probably nailed it, putting Zelda at 3.
It was going to be the game that I was going to suggest for number 3.
Not Zelda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because again, this isn't my personal list. Like, my personal list might be in a completely different order. But
yeah, we're discussing it, yeah.
To know, like, knowing you, Moody, and knowing what your game of the year actually was, like, this entire time, because I'm just like psychic or something, and like knowing how much like you also like loved Vemba, like there was like I wasn't gonna try and go, well, I think we should put Vemba below Zelda.
Yeah.
No, so
it's one of these. So for all the praise we've heaped on Tears of the Kingdom, and my only critique of Baldur's Gate, and I'm doing air quotes for those audio listeners, is that I haven't seen everything that Baldur's Gate 3 has to offer, so I don't feel I have a complete set of information to go off. So it could be by the time I get to the end of Baldur's Gate 3 and at least experience the main story, because I don't think anybody can realistically experience everything that game has to offer.
Probably not all at once.
So it's one of these where all these opinions are subject to change about how it stands at the moment. Those are my thoughts to put Tears of the Kingdom in at number.
Yeah, like Tears of the Kingdom is such a special game for a variety of reasons for me. Number one, I put that game in my Switch and thought I wasn't going to enjoy it because I didn't enjoy Breath of the Wild. But the changes that they made to the powers that you get, like the abilities, was exactly what I needed. Like,
yes, 100%.
From coming out of Breath of the Wild to being, it's good, but like it's not, like for me personally, it's not amazing. To sitting down with Breath of the Wild, doing the first like island, getting all of the abilities, and then just like breaking the game. Like it's no secret that I'm like around these parts. It's no secret that immersive sims are my favorite type of game. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom isn't an immersive sim, but the way in which the world reacts to the things that you can do and the amount of ways that you can solve any problem is exactly like why I play games. Like the fact that there's like 100 different solutions to everything just because of these few mechanics that they've put into the game is absolutely extraordinary.
And it's so optimized. I get that the Switch is a potato of a system, but I didn't experience one technical glitch. Like when it comes to, they spend a whole year just bug fixing and polishing and making sure that it was the perfect release, and it was so refreshing in this year alone, where we've had so many games.
As someone who is trying to concurrently play Tears of the Kingdom and Pokemon Violet.
Oh shit!
Let's just say there was a stark contrast that made me like Zelda even more.
Fucking DLC for that game's buggy as hell. I've seen
it's been a year since that game came out.
I was reading Reb's review, and it was kind of the DLC is fun and all, but it just doesn't fix any of the problems that the main game had. And I was
they're not gonna.
It's so bad, man. Like, there was a part of me, like, I know we're not supposed to be talking, I know we're not talking about Violet here, but there was a part of me that was kind of secretly glad when my Joy-Con broke, because then it was like, well, I don't have to force myself, because it's a fun game.
That's what makes it so annoying.
At 10 frames per second, it's just it's just hard. But
it's inexcusable. But as I've often said, kind of thing, or maybe not public, or I've often thought is that people love Pokemon more than in terms to the time they sink into video games.
And I hate those people because we got a shit Pokemon game, a buggy Pokemon game because of it.
But it definitely, like, doing that definitely made me appreciate, like, because this game shouldn't work.
No.
Like on the Nintendo Switch, like, you know, like when you jump from the top of a thing and you can see like half the fucking map as you're floating down. It's like
draw distance,
How is my Switch not just fucking exploded? Like, what the fuck? And then there's a whole world underneath as well. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, absolute fucking masterclass of game design.
So we may have buried the lead here, but I think I'd like to nominate Vember as number 2.
Well, so here's the thing. Hey, Moody, let me do some story time here. Hey, Moody, do you remember when I used to be on that other podcast, and I did two Game of the Year podcasts on that other podcast, and the effect that I had on what ended up being Game of the Year both times. Like I just said 5 minutes ago, or whatever it was, like, I know how much Femba personally, like, meant to both of you. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm totally cool spending the next, like, 10 minutes talking about Baldur's Gate 3 and putting in number 2 on a on our collaborative list, because I feel like if I feel like, and I know you're cool with putting Vember below Baldur's Gate 3, but I feel like I'm outnumbered. And I'm cool with that, like, just because of the that weighing that personal experience up against like, I really love this game, but I'm curious to know what you two would think of that.
Moody, feel free to take it away.
So, like I said, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, and my opinion might be completely different this time at the beginning of the year and everything. I haven't stopped thinking about Vember since I played it. I absolutely loved that game, and like you've seen all like see the things of like the value of games and everything like that and whatnot. I would have happily paid £100 for this game, no problem whatsoever. It's an 90 minute game. And I have that's just how special this game for me was. Like, it's a game. It's a game about a family, and it's a game that just brings the love for all of them together, but also you see of the ethnicity side to them. The people from India who have come to Canada to try and give their son a better life and everything. But throughout the entire game, just by just small little nuances that you see, they basically, sadly because of their skin and their ethnicity and everything, they aren't getting the roles that they probably are capable of doing just because of their skin color. But then you see it with the son and everything of this, like, he changed his name because all his white friends were changed his name because, quote unquote, his name was too difficult to say, which is just a terrible reason to say. Either way, and it's just, when you notice that happening, my brain just kind of went, fucking hell. And like, for me to feel like that, feel stuff like that, I was just mind blown how well written this game was. And yeah, it was just emotional. Like, and just like the parts of like, when you realize that, I'm sorry, I'm going to go into spoilers here. If you haven't played this game, just play the fucking game, okay?
Available on Game Pass.
Yeah, when you realize that the father's passed away, you're just like, Jesus. And the pain that they've gone through, but then you see the happiness later in the game of just like the son realizing, oh shit, my parents did so much for me, especially my mother, you know? And it's just like, and you realize that she's gone back home where she deep down really wanted to be and everything, because that's not only where her family was, but it's where it's like, that's her home and everything. Like, it's kind of like, for me, it's like, I'm down here where I'm now, but my home is the Northeast, and my aim is eventually to come home in my life and everything. That's where I want to be eventually. And yeah, the game was just emotional for me. Like, I felt so much for it, for the game. And like, yeah, and it's a game where you just cook for the most part, but it's so well written, and I absolutely adored it. I really, really did. I won't begrudge I won't get angry if Baldur's Gate 3 is number one at the end of the day here at all, because I'm not blind. I see what that game has done. You know, that game is like what everyone is saying is a once in a generation game that's come out and everything, and it's blown everyone away. Yeah, I know people say like, oh, the third act is everything is a pain in the ass and whatnot, but like, it did so much for the industry and everything. Like, and the team deserve all the love that they've put behind that. But also, like, the team for Vemba which is a smaller team compared to Baldur's Gate 3, did an incredible job for it as well. Like both games deserve all love. They really, really do. Yes, Vemba is more closer to my heart, and I would vote for in my heart. I don't deny that, but like, yeah, like, well, both games deserve all the love, but like, yeah. I'm happy to go with however you guys go for it. Sorry for putting in there, Vitz.
No. First of all, thank you for sharing your thoughts so eloquently. For me, when it comes to the list that we have here, especially in the top half, there are no losers. And it's one of these where it's not. This isn't a participation award. For everything that Moody just spoke about Vemba, is completely accurate, and I'm vibing with it. It's a game about love and family and culture in the face of race, which we don't see at all in our industry, or even like in the TV and movie space to an extent. And it's one of these where, as much as we talk about Baldur's Gate being a game of generation, I hope it isn't one, because I want to see more experiences like.
Sorry, you just broke up at the very end of your sentence there, and I really don't want any of it to get cut out.
Oh, no, sorry, that's on me. So I was saying, as much as Baldur's Gate 3 is a game of generation, my one hope is that Vemba isn't that, because I want more experiences like this going forward. I want more tales about different cultures, more tales about Indian culture, and that translates to coming across to the West. And I think if you happen to be a child of an immigrant, or an immigrant family who moved over from wherever it happens to be, this game will resonate with you on a completely different level. And it's not to disparage the connection that Moody has with this game or anybody else. That's how it affected me. However, when we go on to talk about Baldur's Gate from someone who has run D&D games, and Grant, I'll be the first one to admit I don't know, everything about D&D, but the way it translates that experience to playing is something incredibly, arguably equally as special. So I wouldn't begrudge any order of this list.
Well, so this is kind of where I was coming from. before when I sort of brought this part up, and like I can say it in a much more eloquent way now that I've heard what both of you said. Thank you very much for sharing. Like to sort of take what you were just saying, Moody, and take what you were just saying, Vitz, and saying the reason why I'm totally cool with, even though Baldur's Gate 3 is easily my personal game of the year, and I enjoyed Venba, but didn't have as much of an emotional connection to it as both of you did, which we talked about when we all sat down and reviewed the game together, in one of my favorite discussions I've ever had on this podcast. The Baldur's Gate 3 is the apex of RPGs. Like, of everything that's been CRPGs or Western or whatever you want to call them. But it's like it feels like everything in the genre has sort of been building to that moment of what Baldur's Gate 3 is. But as you were just saying there, Vitz, like Vember is something we've kind of, maybe not never seen before, but we so rarely see, which is just that viewpoint to something new, as opposed to Baldur's Gate 3 being an incredible video game, an incredible piece of art. Like, it's built upon decades of what came before it, including, things that Larian have made. Whereas Vember it's new. Like, it feels completely new.
Can I make...
especially... No, go ahead, Moody.
Let's go.
Okay, I want to say what was especially beautiful about what you said, Amy. It's new, but it's also talking about things which have been decades and decades and decades in the making. No, I think there's just something really special about that.
It's new to me. I think is a good way to put it. It was kind of like a few years ago when me and Moody did a Game of the Year podcast, and I was talking about a game called If Found, which is a very similar sort of thing, but from a trans perspective, where it's like it's new to most people, but it resonated with me because obviously it just felt like so much of my experience was just put in a video game. Whereas I imagine a lot of other people that played it had no idea how any of this kind of worked. It's that weird thing of I guess to expand on my point properly, like it's new, but it shouldn't be new.
Yeah.
Why don't we just say fuck it and put them both at number 1 and bring something back into the top 10?
What?
Both deserve it. I can't argue against anyone in what you both just said about Baldur's Gate, but I think you both also gave tantalizing arguments of why Vember deserves to be there as well, So it's like, just fucking put both of them at number 1 and just raise all the other 8 games up by 1 and bring another game back in from the outside into 10. Just do that.
We're doing what Edge Magazine did this last year, and I think I mentioned it to you, where they couldn't split the difference between Immortality and Elden Ring, so they just had 2 Game of the Years. And
like, the year's been such a great fucking year for games.
The best of times is the worst of times.
Yeah, it's like...
Right?
Yeah.
Now we got to decide what game to bring back in. Which was the last game? I can't remember. Was it Cocoon? That was the last one we talked about?
Cocoon, yeah. I'm fine with that.
Oh, but, yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Woohoo!
Yeah, no, it's just, I'm actually, you know what? I'm really happy with that. Like, I can't believe I'm sat here. I've just sat here I've just sat here for the last 10 minutes and argued about making a game of the year that's not even in my top 10. What the fuck's wrong with me? What kind of gamer am I? But no, like,
you're a person who respects games.
I respect games and I respect other people's passions. But yeah, no, like it didn't, because the entire time we've been doing this Game of the Year list, and like obviously like there's games that we're not touching, and like I knew Vember was going to be high up there, and I was prepping myself to be like, this is why Baldur's Gate 3 should be number 1. And then like as we were getting to the list and looking at it, and the second Moody you said I'm happy to put Vember at number 2, I just like something clicked in my brain, and I was just like, no, wait, that doesn't sound right. And then the way you have both just like talked about the game there, I was like, no, that was the correct impulse.
So congrats to the teams at Larian and Visaya Games who put together the incredible. And I hope that the rest of the voices in the video games applauding just as many flowers to you and your teams.
Yeah, as the only person who hasn't done a rundown yet, I guess I'll do the rundown of the final.
Sure.
The final Words About Games top 10 video games of 2023. The official and completely 100% accurate 11 best games of the entire year. No one can argue with this list because now it's factual. It's locked in. Number 10, we've got Cocoon. At number 9, we've got Shadow's Gambit, The Cursed Crew. At number 8, we've got Alan Wake 2. At number 7, we have Marvel's Spider-Man 2. At number 6, we have Octopath Traveler 2. At number 5, we have Dead Space 2023 Remake. At number 4, we have Like a Dragon Ishin. At number 3, we have Slay the Princess. At number 2 is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And then at number 1, we have 2 games. We have Vemba and Baldur's Gate 3.
Let's go.
Sexy ass list up.
I'm proud of our list.
We did the damn thing.
I told you it wouldn't be
We
as
haven't
difficult.
killed each other.
I told you it wouldn't be as difficult as you all thought it was going to be.
Maybe you just didn't explain it properly.
Probably. I do that a lot. Did you not hear how badly I butchered my initial point about Vemba before you two swooped in and saved me? It's a collab. That's all about collaboration.
There it is. There's no such thing as competition, only collaboration.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was tempted to say that at the beginning. This isn't a competition. How do we feel the new format was?
I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. Yeah, because I think it allows us to talk about not just 10 games, or in this
Not just,
instance,
like,
11.
Go in sequence of like, oh, well, I like this game. This. Well, let's have discussions. Passion.
Yeah, even though there's like a lot of games that we all picked that weren't probably never going to make the top 10, like it's just knowing that they got the shout outs, like they were specialists in some certain ways and everything, like it's like, why the hell not?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this way.
I think that really worked.
And that list is not representative of any one of us, I'm sure. But like, it's our list. We all made it together.
Yeah, there's a piece of each of us in this list. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
great stuff.
And now Moody's got a whole list of games he can ignore while playing Football Manager.
Fuck you. I get paid tomorrow. I'm buying Baldur's Gate 3 tomorrow on my PS5. And then I'm off for a fucking week.
I'm very excited. Like, Ishin's definitely on the radar. Like, I'll probably not play it for a bit, because by the time I've played Infinite Wealth, like, I'll have played 3 Yakuza games back to back, more or less. But, like, I definitely want to try it. And Shadow's Gambit as well. Like, you the way you've talked about Shadow's
100%.
Gambit, it's like, I definitely want to give it a look.
So
like,
good. It really is so good. Each character's like all got different unique abilities that just spice up how you can win, basically. It's really, really kind.
That's
And
awesome.
I'll be brave enough to watch somebody else play Alan Wake too. So
Hey! That's what I'll do next. Maybe that's what I'll do next year. I'll just record all of my footage and I'll just send it all raw to like you and Moody, so you can just watch at your leisure. But no,
You got me to enjoy Lost Judgment because of that.
did.
Basically.
It was the way to find. Like, I finally got you into these weird Yakuza games, and all it took was streaming in the entirety of Lost Judgment.
Basically, yeah.
Which
is just weird still to me. It really is.
Yeah, like you put it higher in your Game of the Year list that year than I did.
I know. I know. That's how. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I hope you really enjoy Baldur's Gate 3, and I hope you do both play Slay the Princess and give that a shot at some point.
we will do. Yeah.
In the future, whenever that may be. I need more people to talk to about that game. No one's played it.
Also, Moody, be sure to drop us a message of everything you do in Baldur's So it's the storytelling from different people in terms of what they did. No two experiences are the same when it comes to that game. It's interesting it's interesting to see the path people take and the decisions and how they weigh the morality about certain things, and it's all amazing.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. I won't lie, no doubt about it.
Oh, I've been getting texts off of Vitz like for a month.
Yeah.
And I just read them and I'm just like like the one you sent today where you were like, I did this thing, and I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
What, you can do this?
But yeah, no, like, cool list, everybody. We don't have any other thing to do at the end of this. I'm pretty sure there's been no change in Fantasy Critic, although no, actually there has been a change in Fantasy Critic. Russ is last again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's fucking done this?
He hasn't done anything. The last 2 games that Elfie picked, fucking bangers, mate.
Oh, was it Asgard's Wrath? And
Yeah.
Asgard's Wrath?
Like, have you seen the difference, though?
Oh, it's 93, yeah.
Elfie is in 5th with 126.24, and Russ is in last with 126.21.
Their last 2 games were an 84 and a 93. Sorry, an 85 and 93.
Yeah. She's just casually, like, gained about fucking 40 points or something.
Russ is getting laughed at so hard.
Oh, God, Russ.
Yeah. Sorry, I noticed that the other day.
Oh,
so
it's a VR game. A VR game got that high rated?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
VR games that are good are fucking good.
I believe it's exclusive to the MetaQuest 3 and 2 at the moment. But yeah, from all accounts of everybody who's played it, it's pledged 90-hour RPG in VR. How these people aren't violently sick as they've been reviewing this game?
You build it up. As someone who like played VR for a few years, like you build up a tolerance to the motion sickness to the point where you can play Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
Punch yourself in the head. Which legitimately happened to me. A head crab jumped on my face and I punched myself.
To be fair, that's a fair reaction. If that happens to you, that's what you do. So, question about the Fantasy League. Is this back-to-back wooden spoons for Dero?
Unfortunately, it's back-to-back wooden spoons.
Yeah. He's kind of been the wooden spoon man for the last few years. It's back-to-back for me. Like, I've been third the last 2 years, so...
And I got so much shit for laughing at him during the initial draft.
He was first. When we were giving you that shit, he was top.
Oh, great stuff, everybody. We have fun on this show.
Everybody else just kind of was like sort of in or around like where they are right now, and Russ just went
Yeah.
all over the place. Bless him. I feel bad.
Hey, Baldur's Gate on that list as well.
Yeah.
It's like, how?
He had one of our number ones and our number 2 game of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was fun. That was really awesome. The only thing I like hate about what we just did, like a game of the year talk wise. Now we have to wait 12 months before we can do it again.
I've just realized the game. I don't think it would have hit the top 10, but I know you really liked Amy. Dredge.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Did you? No.
I did think about it, but I was like, at a certain point, I had to stop myself from naming games just for decency's sake more than anything else. I was like, I had to have a cutoff point somewhere.
Fair.
Let me tell you, our Redfall deserves to be in the top 10.
Just no.
For the memes.
Yeah.
I don't know if any games release entertained me more than Redfall's, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for the people that made that game, especially when all the shit came out about how they wanted it. They were hoping Microsoft would cancel it. It's just like, Jesus.
It's not the greatest vote of confidence, is it?
No. But yeah, no. Game of the Year 2023. That's it. We're done. We're done podcasting as well. Like for the year.
Friends, we hope that you enjoy celebrating whatever it is you choose to celebrate. And if you're not, the day-to-day grind that you...
Well, I didn't get much of that, and I don't know if it feels more appropriate. I think my internet's dying, or Discord's dying, one of the two.
Probably Discord again.
Probably Discord again. Can't handle it. Can't handle our factually 100% correct opinions.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, no, happy holidays from everybody at Words About Games. Go play our Game of the Years. All 11 of them.
There you go.
That's your homework. I expect you to have it done by the time we get back.
Like one of the games of the Game of the Years is literally 90 minutes long.
There you go.
And
the other's 100 hours long.
I mean all 11.
Yes.
Three of them are definitely like 100-hour experiences, but that's fine. You'll manage.
I have to bring up the doc. I want to have a look at this again. So, Kern's like 4 to 5 hours. Shadow Gamut's about 15 hours. Alan Wake's about, 12 to 15 hours?
You can
30 hours for Spider-Man, isn't it?
You can platinum Spider-Man 2 in 25. That's what I did.
Ooh, okay. Octopath Traveler 2 is like a 90-hour game.
Give or take, yeah.
Dead Space is like 8 to 12 hours, give or take. Ishin, about 12 to 15. Slay the Princess.
About 4 to do like one run of the game, and then depends what you want to do after that.
Zelda's infinite, apparently. Vemba's 90 minutes, and Baldur's Gate 3 is infinite as well. So
somewhere between, I'd say, 60 and a million.
Basically, you could smack out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games probably, say within a week, give or take. Depending on how much hardcore you did it, and then you're just left with the other.
And then spend the next 3 months of your life playing the next.
You didn't want to start a game in 2024, did you? And did a new game in 2024, did you?
Hey, you better do something till Final Fantasy comes out.
Yeah.
Shout out, show.
Cool. Well, let's get out of here and go and have ourselves a very Merry Christmas. That was a song lyric.
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh no, I'm lapsing into song. Does anyone have any last words?
Moody, I'm waiting for you to say those magical words.
Oh, God damn it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. And non-binary people, I hope you've had a fantastic 2023. The year is coming to an end. The final podcast is done. You know our game of the years, all the game 11 fantastic games. Fuck, like 30 games I think we talked about, which is just all fantastic and for all in their unique ways. Go and check them all out. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and I hope you all have a happy new year, because you are fucking amazing, and I hope you have a fucking fantastic 2024. Peace out. Live long and prosper.
Ironically, that was the first game we cut.